Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Matthew Jackson, one of the team members of 401k Maneuver. And happy May 7th. We've got an incredible episode for everybody today. We're talking about what should I be doing with my 401k right now. We at 401k Maneuver have been getting lots of questions from people all over the country about their 401ks, and one of the most common questions we get is this: what should I be doing with my 401k right now? And before I go, just hop right in, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody. Thank you to all of our essential workers, which not only includes all of our medical folks, but also the people that are stocking our grocery shelves, people that are working our gas stations, people that are taking care of our trash for us. I mean, the list goes on and on. Truthfully, you are what keeps this country going. So thank you from 401k Maneuver. And I'm really excited about tonight's episode because right now, having lived through the fastest 30% sell-off in stock market history, for the 401k, 403b, 457 question is top of mind for just about everybody. And we at 401k Maneuver, not only do we provide a service where you can get online help and advice with potentially better managing your 401k, but we're dedicated to providing you complimentary, no-cost education so you can be a better investor. More importantly, be a better steward with your money, because being a good steward, spending wisely, saving wisely, responsibly, and investing wisely, it is the three-legged stool that may be the recipe for your success to having the retirement that you've always dreamed about. So tonight, I'm sharing with you in this episode some really cool tips and strategies on what we feel you should be doing with your 401k right now. And I'm going to keep this brief because certainly this could go on to a 2 or 3 hour episode, but we're going to hop right in. So here we go. If you're wondering what you should be doing with your 401k right now, you're not alone. Millions of 401k investors are wondering the same exact thing. Recent stock market volatility, economic instability, fear of not being employed in the near future, the sense of powerlessness over this entire coronavirus situation and your financial future, listen, it's very real. It's almost visceral. You can almost feel it. So with that uncertainty of what's coming up over the next few months and what things will look like as we come out of our homes back to some resemblance of normalcy, it's easy to let fear dictate your financial decisions. And that's why we're providing this education, because one of the ways to overcome fear is through education. It's powerful. Before I dive in and answer the question, what should I be doing with my 401k right now? I want to share with you a story about what happens when fear drives retirement investment decisions. So this is a warning from the past, which we call the real cost of fear-based decisions. And this is a hypothetical story, but I think you'll find that there may be a lot of synergy with what you've experienced in the past. If you didn't live through 2007, 2008 financial crash, pay attention because you can learn from history. So just hang with me for just a moment. Up until 2007, let's call this person Adam. He was really confident in his 401k performance, and then 2008 hit, and he lost 37% of his total retirement savings, which is actually less than what some people lost, which I heard some people lost up to 52% of their total retirement savings. Now, Adam, instead of staying the course and waiting for the market to bounce back, Adam put his IRA into cash, and he moved his 401k assets into a mutual fund comprised of safe bonds. Sound familiar? The market continued to dive in early 2009, and Adam felt really good about his decision. Can you relate? He was so confident that he even stopped contributing to his 401k. He just mentally checked out. And for the next few years, he didn't even open up his 401k statement when it arrived. Sadly, Adam missed out on the opportunity to recover all of his losses. From March 9th of 2009, when the market was at its lowest point, to January 4th, 2010, the Dow Jones Industrial Average climbed to 10,583 points. But Adam was invested in bonds, and he only saw 2% growth. That's it, 2%. The market continued to rebound throughout 2011, remember? 2012, remember? The Dow Jones Industrial Average actually closed on December 30th of 2012 at 12,217 points, almost double from where the low was in May of 2009. Adam was so sore about his 2008 losses, having lived through that, he just kept on doing nothing. And even though the current returns from his bond investments were low, he didn't want to run the risk of buying into the market at all-time highs and then lose it all over again. This was back in 2012. Well, what's happened since 2012? The market's gone from 12,000 points. Today, March 7th, it closed almost at 24,000 points, meaning it's almost doubled again in 8 years. Adam never recouped his losses because he missed out on the opportunity to do so. And when he retires, chances are he's going to come up short on the amount of money that he needs. Listen, there was a lot of Adams in the 2008 crash, and I'm sure you knew some, and hopefully you weren't one of the Adams. And sadly, there may be even more Adams after the dust settles from this COVID-19 market sell-off, when the real economic impact of the virus is going to be made clear in a few months from now. So this story that I just shared with you of making decisions from fear should be a lesson to all 401k investors, asking, what should I do with my 401k right now? So keep listening if you want to find out about what options are available to you and why some of them actually may not be in your best interest. You really want to pay attention to this one. One of them was in the CARES Act. So we've been getting a lot of people that have been asking, should I keep my contribution limits the same? What should I do with them? So if you have the money to contribute to your 401k, please continue paying into it each pay period. In other words, just leave your 401k alone, you guys, and keep on keeping on. If you're worried about another big dip in the market, remember, you're losing money on paper. You don't technically lose until you sell. So don't sell. When you continue or even increase your contributions, you're going to get more out of retirement due to dollar cost averaging. This strategy simply means you invest no matter what the market's doing. Our Chief Investment Officer, Mark Sorensen, brilliant person, has said, he puts dollar cost averaging like this. He says, the more shares you buy when the market's down and the less you buy when the market's higher, if you do this strategy, this is how you can really build wealth. You buy a lot when the market's down, like times like now. You buy a little bit when the market's at all-time highs. Okay, that's dollar cost averaging. He also adds, and this is really important, and this is going to give you some confidence, okay, about the future going forward. 100% of the time, every single market correction, and there's been 12 since 1945, every bear market has always come back 100% of the time. And there's no reason to think that this will be any different. So sometimes in times of uncertainty, the best thing to do is nothing. Just keep on contributing and know that your patience will be rewarded over time. So what would we say from 401k Maneuver? Keep on keeping on. Go walk your dog, spend some time with your spouse. Do the things that help you become a better person. Invest in yourself mentally, spiritually, physically. Cool? Keep on keeping on. Let's talk about the next comment that we've been getting from folks, or the question, which is, should I defer my contributions? Should I stop them? Well, because cash is tight, right? Like I need some money. I lost my job. I'm being furloughed. My check hasn't come through yet, my stimulus check. I need some money. So Listen, if cash is tight or your spouse has lost their job, just want you to think twice about completely stopping the contribution to your 401k. Instead, if you absolutely have to, pull back the amount that you're contributing. So if you're currently putting in 15%, pull back to 10% or 12% just to free up some extra cash. And I want to give you a word of caution. Be very clear on exactly what you're going to use that money for. If you're pulling back on your contributions just to have extra money in your bank account, you're probably going to spend it somewhere. If you're pulling money or you're reducing your contributions because you got to help pay your mortgage, your car payments, or reduce credit card balances, that's a whole nother thing. It's another thing not to fund your retirement savings just so you can use Uber Eats or eat out more often. All right. So there's an old wives' tale that, or piece of advice that my mother gave me before I left the nest at a young age of 18, which was, Matthew, when's the worst time that you can go shopping? It's not 8 a.m. It's not 9 p.m. It's when you're hungry, because you're more likely to buy more. So have a purpose for the money that you're going to be putting into your bank account if you're going to be pulling back some of your contributions. It's a good tip. Now, we've had some few people ask, is it wise to increase the contributions of my 401k right now? Let's talk about that. If you're sitting on some extra cash that you have in savings, we'd like you to consider increasing your 401k contributions right now. And listen, you can do it temporarily. If you do increase your 401k or 403b or 457 or TSP contributions right now, you can dial them back at another point in time in the future. While many states are starting to open up and more following in the coming weeks, most Americans still aren't spending like they used to. I know my family and I have not been spending like we do in the past. So if you could increase your contributions by 1%, 2%, or even 5% with the money you're saving by not having that morning coffee through the drive-through coffee shop or eating out every single meal for lunch, eating out multiple times per week for dinner, put that money in your 401k right now. Remember, dollar cost averaging. Buy a lot of shares when the market's low, buy less when the market's high, but don't stop buying. Okay? Now, the last one is a big one. I've been hearing from a lot of folks that run in my circles about the CARES Act and how it allows for withdrawals or loans from your 401k. And personally, I've been having a lot of people ask, hey, Matt, should I take a loan out of my 401k? Here we go. If you're asking about what you should do with your 401k right now, or more specifically, should I take a loan for my 401k? This one's for you, and I want you to be careful. Think twice. If you're in need of emergency cash injection, your 401k should be the absolute last option because it may cause irreversible damage to the amount of money that you have for retirement. According to the Center of Retirement Research at Boston College, which is an awesome organization, early withdrawals reduce overall 401k assets for retirement by 25% on average. That's huge. What would a 25% reduction in your retirement assets do to your retirement lifestyle? Would it put a damper on the dreams that you had for your retirement? I know they would for me, so just be careful. Now, even though the penalties are waived through the CARES Act, borrowing from your retirement to fix a short-term problem may be detrimental to your financial future. This legislation was meant for Americans to be able to access cash if they need it. And the CARES Act actually doubled the borrowing limit on your 401k from $50,000 or 50% of the vested account balance up to $100,000 or 100% of your vested account balance. This provision allows qualified participants to take a loan from the qualified employer plan within 180 days or 6 months from the bill's date of enactment, which was March 27th. So you've got 6 months. March 27th, April, May, June, July, August, September 27th would be the last day that you could request a loan and have some of the penalties waived through the CARES Act. So just be aware. Technically, you're supposed to show hardship as a result of the COVID-19 shelter-in-place directives. But this is a self-certification process, so you might not need to prove much. And be aware that each plan administrator, your company, it's going to vary differently. Okay? So don't take what I'm telling you right now as a blanket statement. Go talk to your HR people, go talk to your plan sponsor to find out how the rules actually apply to your organization and what your opportunities and options are. Some plans may require more documentation than others, so be careful, all right? In addition, listen to this. A 401k loan may become a taxable distribution if you leave the company or if you are let go before paying it back. Not some of it, all of it. So be careful. Should this happen, it may leave you financially worse off than when before you took the loan. Okay? So just be really, really careful, you guys. So I just want to tell everybody it's advisable not to borrow from your 401k and instead look for other options for short-term cash needs. But if you've been furloughed or lost your job, if both people in your home have been furloughed or lost their jobs and you have no other options, just be aware that you can take a 401k loan, but you're required to pay it back. All right, so be careful. Now, many folks have been asking, what are our opportunities to potentially maximize our income at retirement? This is huge. We want to make up for lost time. What do? Well, no matter where you're at in your retirement savings journey, if you've got 1 year to retirement, 5 years to retirement, 20 years to retirement, we at 401k Maneuver are dedicated to helping you learn and correct 401k mistakes that lead to feelings of hopelessness about your retirement. So not only do we provide complimentary no-cost education because we want to see you do well, but we are actually an online participant account management service provider where you can get online help from a third-party expert, a fiduciary, and how you may be able to manage your 401k in a way that could lead to helping you improve your account performance, better manage downside risk, and reduce fees. In fact, I want to invite everybody who's watching this episode to our no-cost 401k Masterclass. It's just 30 minutes, and check this out. If you invest 30 minutes in yourself, which I highly recommend you do, it could mean that it may change the direction of your retirement. It's that powerful. What's 30 minutes? It's done in 4 parts. So if you have to get up and leave to take your dog out, go run an errand, you can come back and watch the other segments. But it's very short, very informative. Here's what you may discover in 30 short minutes. Number 1, how you may improve your account performance, which means you may have more money, creating a more fulfilling retirement. And who doesn't want that? Number 2, how you may manage risk to minimize losses during bad markets like the one we just had, the fastest 30% sell-off in stock market history, which means you may be able to keep more of your hard-earned investable assets. That's huge. And the third thing that you may learn in 30 short minutes is how you may reduce fees that harm your account performance, which means that your investment grows more for your retirement because more of your hard-earned money stays in your pocket. Those are the types of things that you'll learn in our free masterclass. It's absolutely no cost. Invite your family and friends, anybody that you know that has a 401k, a 403b, or 457, because it works all for the same for everybody. And if after watching those 3 strategies, you're having some confusion on how you can do it on your own, that's what we at 401k Maneuver are designed to do. Our goal is to help you retire with more money for retirement. Our goal is to help you manage risk to minimize losses and reduce fees that you may not even know that you're paying that harm your account performance. Go to 401kmaneuver.com and you can register for the Masterclass, find out a little bit more about our service. Thanks for staying with me tonight. I hope that you found this information about what to do with your 401k right now incredibly valuable, and I hope it helps you to go out there and actually live the retirement of your life, of your dreams. Have a great day, everybody. Cheers.